Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we are again, teaching from the farm, learning from the farm, learning from home. Good to have you with me. We're going to get started, and we're getting pretty good at this. We know what we're doing on this. But let's do something a little fun today. Let's talk about a show and tell. Today we're going to focus on food. I want to talk about your favorite food. So I've got mine with me. I probably already know what it is. So I'm going to show you mine. And then I want you to draw a picture of yours on the English paper today. So I'm going to show you how to do it. We're doing English first. And I'm going to show you my favorite food. Of course, you know what my favorite food is. Right here. Cupcakes. You know I love my cupcakes. Well, I've got one that's called a wedding cake cupcake. It's got kind of an almond flavor and really sweet icing on it. I love it. And this is the strawberry cupcake I got from my favorite cupcake store. So think about your favorite food. What do you like to eat? Spaghetti, tacos, cookies, whatever your favorite food is. You're going to think about it today. Draw a picture of it for me on your English paper. Okay? So let's get to English. I'll wrap up my cupcakes for later. It's a good day on the farm. Not for me. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time it is where you are or when you're viewing this video, but it is Tuesday, and I'm making all of Wednesday's videos and Thursday's videos today. So I'll send Tuesday's videos tonight or Wednesday's videos tonight, so that you can have them for tomorrow. Right? Does that sound right? Okay. So it is Tuesday here. It is 8 o'clock in the morning here. Where is it where you are? What time are you watching this video? First thing I want to call your attention to when you get your packets. Now, parent pickup for the packets is today, which is Tuesday, in the afternoon, or your mom and dads can come on Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, and pick up some early. I'm not at the school today. I'm here at the farm, but tomorrow I'll be at the school, so I hope to see some of your parents there. But when you get your packets, the first thing you're going to notice is this page that I hand wrote. And when you handwrite something, it means that you write it with your pencil or your pen on a piece of paper. Instead of using a computer or a printer, you're not typing it in, you're writing it with your hand. That's what handwritten means. This is a note to your parents, and the reason I wrote it this way is so it's sticky out, nice and big, so that you can remember the rules when we do school from home. And the rules are this. Please, please, please do not work on these papers without first watching a video. There's a lot of papers in here. Some of them have a video to them, some of them don't. Don't just start working on the pages, because there's a video that goes with every page that we need to do. If you come to a page and you get to the end of the week and you go, Miss Howard didn't do a video on that. That's okay. Leave it blank. Some of these pages we'll pick up and do next week. And some of these pages we'll do when we get back to the classroom on the 22nd. If there's no video, don't do the page. Repeat after me. If there's no video, don't do the page. Okay? And when we come back, we'll do it together. So this is a note to tell your parents that, yes, we have spoken. It's okay. If there's no video, don't do the page. All right. Very good. I think you've got that. So coming back to what we're doing today, we're starting on English. Hope you've got all your pencils ready. Please make sure you do your work in pencil. Make sure you are doing your work. I know what your mom knows, and I know what your dad knows, and I know what your cousin knows. I want to know what you know, okay? Don't let anybody else do your work. Say, I got this, because you do. You got this. You know exactly what you're doing. So we'll pull up English, and today's English is page 259, and I think you're going to like it. Let me share my screen with you. 259. And here we go. This one is on the next step in the writing process. We've been working on writing, in English. I'm working on a instructional writing. That's where you take instructions. You're telling somebody how to do something, like a lesson or a recipe or a how-to book. Have you ever gotten a new, well, if you can think back to remember last year when we put together the cart in our classroom with all the drawers in it? It had instructions, and the instructions told us step by step what to do first. We couldn't put the wheels on until we put the cart together, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. But when you tell somebody how to do something, the more detailed your instructions are, the better it is that they will succeed. Even the better your chance that they will succeed and get the thing put together right. Likewise, if you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you start with the peanut butter, where are you going to put it? You need to get out the bread first, right? So that's why instructions are so important. You need to follow these steps in order to do the things in the right order to get your end product, what you are doing, to turn out the way whoever wrote the instructions intended for it to turn out. Okay? So, having said that, you've got our paper on snack mix. And we've been talking about how to make snack mix in the classroom. We've done one of these before where we've looked at the steps to making a snack mix. And the next step in the process, we did our plan, where we thought about what we were going to write about. We did our draft. That's where we first wrote it out on paper to get our ideas out of our head and onto the paper. And then we revised it a little bit. We corrected some spelling, we corrected some wording, we maybe added some more interesting words. And then this step is proofread. And that is where you look at the writing carefully, you study it hard, and make sure you haven't missed anything like spelling, punctuation, those are your end marks that you've got on it, capitalizations, we've been working a lot with super sentences, which I keep looking at it, and you're right up in the center, you're right here, so if I look here, I'm looking at you, or if I look down here where I can see the picture of me, I'm kind of talking to myself. So I'm going to try to look up here at you. Proofread is where you really, really look into it and make sure you don't make any spelling errors, any punctuation errors. You've got all your words capitalized that you need capitalized. Proofreading sometimes is a good thing to do with a partner. If you've got someone with you, a friend, or I know if people work in an office, sometimes one of them will say, hey, can you proofread this for me and make sure it looks good to go out? I know you probably haven't yet, but if moms and dads are listening, I know it's happened to them. Texting along, you text, you get it all done, you just hit send. And then you look back at it and you go, what? What did I write? That doesn't make any sense, or it's not correct. So that's why we do proofreading, so that we can pick up those little mistakes. All right? So in this, our friends who are making the instructions about snack mix have finished making their draft. They've revised it a little bit. You see right here where they've written in the words the way they think they should go, and now they're going to proofread it. These are the proofreading marks I've been teaching you about. Let me write some of them over here. We've done some of these in the classroom. Let me write one of them down for you. So you know what I'm talking about. Remember this little mark that we write sometimes in our words or between our words? This is called a caret. I know, because it looks like a carrot, doesn't it? And what it does is it tells, you've got words here, you've got words here, and it tells you that you need to put something right in between those words. Maybe you need to add a comma, maybe you need to add an apostrophe, maybe you need to take out some words and put different words in. So, and then here's another one. We talked about this one. That's a deletion mark. Now, to me, it looks like that frosting that goes on the top of cupcakes. Again, it all comes back to cupcakes, doesn't it? This means you're going to delete. Now, to delete something means to take it out, to get rid of it. If I have a word that I'm writing down and I don't want that word, I want a different word, I'll put a deletion mark in it to take it completely out of what I'm writing. So there's another mark that we've talked about a little bit. There's some other ones that we've talked about. Oh, we talked about this one. That's a word that we put in front of or under a letter that needs to be capitalized. See, if I had an A in my paragraph and I put those 3 lines under there, that would indicate to me that I wanted to remember when I went back and wrote this again to make this letter capital letter, an uppercase letter. Okay? So those are the big 3 that you and I have worked on. Maybe we'll study some other ones later, but I want to continue to work on these. So if you notice in our paragraph, our friend wrote our paragraph, and then they noticed that there were some things they wanted to change. So they came down here. Let me pull this little part up. Bring it in a little closer. Ah! Turn it upside down. Bring it in a little closer. Okay. I'm kind of right down in here. And it says, next, put in 4 cups of cereal into the bowl. Well, part of our super sentence is write. Remember write, the R for write? Well, one of those parts of that means, does it sound right? Does it make sense when I say it? So to say next, put in 4 cups of cereal into the bowl, well, that's okay, but it's not very good. It doesn't sound like I want it to sound. So I'm going to take out those 2 words, put in, and you can see they made this deletion mark right there. And they wrote the word measure instead. And they put that little caret. That means they're going to take out put in, and they're going to add the word measure. Okay? That's what a proofreading mark does, and that's what they did right there. And then as you come down into the sentence a little later, it says, then put in the raisins. Well, I think my friend decided that he didn't want to use the words put in so much. Sometimes when you write, you want to try to use different words. Remember when we talked about a thesaurus and looking at words that had the same meaning as the word we wanted, but sounded a little different. So our writing was more interesting. We talked about the word nice. The word nice is a big one that we overuse a lot. Nice, nice. This is nice. That is nice. We went to the nice store. Then we had a nice dinner. And then we talked to our nice friend. It's better when you write if you mix your words up a little bit. You use some words that mean the same thing, but are a little more interesting to hear. So you can see where my friend here took these words put in, and they made 2 different words that mean the same thing. Measure means the same as put in, and add means the same as put in. Now, we also talked in English about what words are that mean the same thing. You remember that word? Take a think for a minute. I'll give you a clue. It's that big one. It's that one that sounds like cinnamon, doesn't it? The word is synonym, and I'll write it up here. And actually, I'd like it if you'd write it too. Let's write on this guy's hat. Synonym is S-Y-N-O. There we go. A synonym, synonyms are words, 2 words that mean about the same thing, but they're different words. Okay? So down here, the 2 words that my friend chose were synonyms of the word put in. And that's what a synonym means. Okay? So let's go back up to the top. And I'm not sure I remember to put my name on this paper. I'm so bad. Who do I owe $1 to? I'll give it to Hunter today. $1 to Hunter today. Okay, so let's make sure we write our name. Brianna, I know you like to do yours in cursive, and that is okay. Or you can do it in print. That is okay too. Name. Today's date is, see, here's the tricky. For me, it's the 9th, but for you, it will be the 10th. Okay, there you go. So make sure your name and date is on this paper. Now, this one's pretty easy today. I want you to take your pencil. You probably didn't remember to bring your gel pens home because we didn't know we were going to do this again. If you've got a fancy pen at home you'd like to use and Mom says it's okay, great, no problem. You can go ahead and use that. If not, you're welcome to use your pencil. If you choose a marker, be careful not to use a marker that shows through the paper because tomorrow the page we're going to do is on the back of this, okay? Or maybe it's even homework. But so if you draw through it, it's going to be hard to write on that one too. Okay, so your only job today, well, one of your jobs today, your first job today is to trace all of this. You're going to be very careful. You're going to trace these words and you're going to stay on the line. And a good study skill is to say them as you trace them. Every time you spell a word, even if you're not really going to try to have a test on it, every time you spell a word and you hear yourself say it and you see it and you spell it out, it makes you a little stronger in spelling. It builds up your spelling muscles. So every time you do that, it's helpful, okay? I want you to trace what they have done here, okay? Trace all of this. And when you are done tracing that, we're going to go to the next one, okay? And the reason that I want you to trace this one is I want you to realize that whenever you write, whenever anyone writes, your teacher, your Miss Perkins, when she writes, when your favorite author writes, the first time they write, they're more focused on getting the ideas on paper than they are getting every other spelling right. That comes later. It's the process that you go through when you do this. So when you trace this, I want you to notice that our friends have made some mistakes. I know you're probably going to notice this one right up here. Here's a big one that stuck out to me. Snack, S-N-A-K. Is that how snack is spelled? No, not really. But we'll address that. As you can see, we address that right now. And so in having you trace this, you are actually realizing that when you write, you make mistakes. Then this is the before and this is the after. So I'm going to have you trace this one with all of its mistakes. And then when you get done with this, I'll tell you what to do next. So you can pause the video or you can listen through the end and do it afterwards, whichever you need to do. Never be afraid to rewind the video and watch it again because sometimes you miss things, directions, and you need to get those. Okay. So the information box, we're going to listen and repeat this right here. Defines the word proofread. Remember, we've been talking about special words. This one right here, sticky outy word. What does that mean? What is a word that sticks out? What is that called? That's right. That's called a bold word. It's written in bold type. And that's the reason the author is taking all these words that he's writing. And this one is important, so he's going to push it out at you. He's going to make that one pop out so that you really notice that that's an important word. So that's why we've got it in bold print. You see it everywhere. You see it in science. We saw it in social studies. We've seen it in reading a little bit. And now we're seeing it here in English. It's a technique that an author uses to draw your attention to something that he or she thinks is very important. Okay? So in listening and repeating this information box, it says proofread means to look for mistakes and correct the ones you find. Very good. That means you're going to look for mistakes and correct the ones you find. So here's our writing that we've traced that our friend has done. And now our friend comes back and says, well, I fixed these 2 mistakes, but I still see some more. It's not good enough to check it once. When you're writing a paper or a story, you got to check it twice so that your reader is impressed with how much you know about your subject and you know about writing. Okay? So then the next thing they did was they wrote the entire thing over again and looked at their new mistakes. And you can see they picked one up right here. Let me pull this down a little bit. Zoom in on it for you. No, no, it's not going to let me do it. Here we go. You can see it right here. This is the word I'm talking about. When they wrote mix right here, how to make a snack mix. That is the title of our story. Another thing we've been talking about in English. When you write a title, what letters do we make uppercase? Stop and think. I bet Brianna knows because I've heard her say it before. Kylie's probably got this one too. When you write a title, you capitalize the first letter of the title and the last letter of the title and all the important words. Okay? How to make a snack mix. That's why our friend put those 3 underline marks under mix. Because they went, whoa, mix is an important word in this title. I need to make it uppercase. Okay? That's why they wrote their little marks in here. Okay? And tomorrow when we write this perfectly, you'll see where they see that they need to fix it, and the next time they did it, they fixed it. Okay? Some other things they caught down in here is they did it. Remember when we looked at the word snack over on this side? And we said, that's not how you spell snack, right here. Our friends caught it too, and they fixed it right here. See it? They used the deletion mark, and they wrote it correctly. And they've got that little caret in there to show that they need to fix it. Now, let's start to read this. Move this out of the way here. I'm getting busy moving around. Okay. It says, how to make a snack mix. Making a snack is a fun thing to do. You will need a large bowl, a large spoon, a measuring cup, a bag of pretzels, 4 cups of cereal squares, and a box of raisins. Let's go way back. Let's go back. Remember when we talked about comma, comma, and? Remember that? That is where you remember that when you're writing a series of things, you're writing more than 2 things, you put a comma in between all of the things, and on the last one, you put the word and. Comma, comma, and. Remember, comma, comma, and. So let's have a look at where they did it. Large bowl, comma, large spoon, comma, measuring cup, comma, bag of pretzels, comma, 4 cups of cereal squares, comma, and a box of raisins. That's where you use that. If I were to say in my class, I have Rylan, comma, KJ, comma, Austin, comma, Preston, comma, Jeff, comma, Kylie, comma, Brianna, comma, Jamia, comma, Hunter, comma, and Miss Howard. See, comma after everybody's name. And then before the last one, we put and that's how you write. Use a comma to show that you have more than two things in your list. So that's what our friend did here, and I just wanted to call your attention to that. Then, another thing we've been working on just recently is we've been working on order words. Remember these? First, next, then, finally. Those are some number words we've been working on. And by the way, please do this. See these little marks that I'm making in here? This is going to let me know that you are watching this video. And I need to know that you're watching this video. And I will know you're watching the video if you do these marks, just like I did. Underline our order words. Underlined our comma, comma, and. Anything you see me circle up here, it's good if you do it too. All right? That lets me know that, yeah, I watched that video. And I'm pretty smart on this. I know what I'm doing. So these number words are also words that need commas after them. So you can see that right here, my friend forgot a comma. So they're going to put carrot in here and put a comma. And that means that right where I put that carrot, right there, is where a comma needs to go. They've remembered it here, they've remembered it here, and they remembered it here. But they forgot it right here. That's why they wrote the proofreading marks. Okay? So then it says, first, pour the pretzels into the large bowl. Next, measure 4 cups of cereal into the bowl. Then, add the raisins. Finally, stir everything together. Enjoy eating the snack mix. And they put one of these on the end. What's that called? What's that called, Kylie? Exclamation mark. And the exclamation mark means, yes, I really mean what I'm saying. I am serious about what I'm saying, and I want you to take note. Okay? So, let's go back. This one, I'll write some directions up here. You're going to trace. This one, you're going to circle and underline same things I'm gonna put my initials here. Miss Howard did. Okay? That's all you have to do. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. I'm going to hang up with you now, and I'll see you shortly from math. Love you, love you. I miss you all. Don't forget to draw your crazy food up at the top. All right? I'll talk to you later. Stop recording. See you for math. Bye-bye.